Right, good morning, first grade. This is Mr. Maraca. Today we're going to read or continue our read aloud. Judy B. Jones, first grade Cheater Pants. All right, so last chapter we saw that Judy B. Jones had to take a home to her parents and show it to them because she cheated by copying off of May's homework, and Mr. Scary was very upset. Now we're going to see what happens after she gave the note to her parents. All right. Chapter 6, Tin Can. The next morning, I sat next to Herb on the bus. I sit next to him every single day. An account of what the bestest friends automatically do. Herb started talking about his new dog, Dilly. Only I couldn't even pay attention that good, cause how can you talk about that Dilly when you still got a note from your teacher in your pocket? Mother and Daddy signed that dumb thing, and now I have to take it back to Mr. Scary. I slumped away down in my seat. School was not being fun these days. I looked at Herb. I wished I could tell him about my problem, only if I didn't like cheaters. What if he didn't like cheaters? And he found out I was one. And then he didn't even like me either. I thought and thought real hard. Then finally I took a deep breath and I decided to risk it. I leaned real close to his ear and I whispered to him very secret. Okay, here's the situation, Herb, I said. I'm a little bit of trouble at school. Only I'm really not bad, I promise. It's just that yesterday I accidentally did something wrong. But I don't actually want you to tell what it was, or else you might not like me anymore. Herb looked at me and shrugged. You copied May's homework when she went to the office, he said. I did a big gasp at that boy. Because how do you know that private information? I scratched my head, but how did you even, Herb interrupted me. I saw you, he said. Lenny and Josue saw you too. You're a terrible sneak, Judy B. Really terrible. I mean, I did a little frown. That was not a compliment, possibly. Herb patted my arm. Don't worry, we still like you, he said. Just don't copy May's homework anymore. And then you won't get in any more trouble. I nodded my head. Then I patted him back. That Herb is good for me, I think. Me and Herbert walked to room 1 together. Then we stopped right in our footsteps. But because wow, the whole room looked different, I tell you. Instead of being in rows, all the desks were in a group of circles. We looked in the back to where we sit. There were 5 desks in our group. May was already in her seat. She was cleaning her desktop with a moist towelette. Just then Lenny and Josue walked in behind us. Whoa, said Lenny. What's going on here, said Josue. Mr. Scary told us to please find our desk, and he will explain this in a minute. All of us went back and sat down. Sitting in a circle seems friendly. We waved and smiled at each other. Only not May. She looked smuggy at us. I already know why we're sitting like this, she said. I was the first one here this morning. And when you're first, you get to know stuff. Josue stared at her moist towelette. He made a cuckoo sign. Just then, Mr. Scare went to the board and wrote a weird word. Boys and girls, this morning we're going to do a poetry assignment, he said. That's why I arranged your desk like this. I want you to be able to talk over your thoughts and share ideas. He pointed at the weird question. It's spelled Cinquain. Does anybody want to try and pronounce this, he asked. Does anybody want to sound it out? May jumped right up. Tin can, she shouted. It's pronounced tin can. She grinned and looked delighted. I know it's tin can because you told me this morning, remember? I was the first one here, and I saw you wrote it down the board. and you told me that it pronounced tin can. Mrs. Scary looked puzzled at her. Gee, I'm sorry, May. It's not tin can, he said. You must not have heard me correctly. This word is pronounced like the word sin and cane. Sin cane. May crossed her arms. No, she said. I'm sure that's not what you told me. You said it's tin can, Mr. Scary. You know you did. Mr. Scary frowned. No, May, I didn't, he said. Please take your seat. May sat down in a huff. She put her head on her desk and hid under her sweater. Mr. Scary looked back at the board. Sincaine is a poem that has 5 lines, he said, and each line has its own special rule. He wrote the 5 rules. Line 1, 1 word title. Line 2, 2 words that describe the title. Third line, 3 action words about the title. Fourth line, 4 words that express a thought or a feeling about a title. Fifth line, 1 word that means the same thing as the title. After that, he wrote the word Sincaine for us to see. It was a poem called Pickle. Pickle, bumpity, lumpity, crunching, munching, lunching, cucumbers making you pucker, Grekin. We laughed at that crazy thing, because who ever heard of a pickle poem? Writing a Sincaine is fun, I said. This assignment will be a breeze, I think. Mr. Scary smiled. Well, sometimes poems can come very easily, Judy B, and other times they don't. But if you share words and ideas with each other, you can really help spark your imaginations, he said. He looked all around. In fact, I thought it might be fun for some of you to write your poem as a team, he said. May quick came out from under the sweater at that news. She looked at her group. Okay, fine. I'll be the team leader, she said. After that, she made a mean face at Mr. Scary, and she took out her pencil. I know what you're going to write about too, she said growly. She waved her hand at us. You 4 guys just talk about your normal stupid stuff, and I'll write the poem, she said. I'll read it to you when I'm done. Lenny looked disappointed. But Mr. Scary said, we should write our poem together, May, he said. See, said Jose. We're supposed to share thoughts, ideas, remember? May threw her hands in the air. I knew it, she said. I knew working as a team wouldn't work. Fine. You guys just write your own dumb poem. I'll just write mine. After that, she took her pencil and paper. She hid under her sweater again. All of us looked at each other and shrugged. Then we started right to work. I tapped on my chin. It says the first line needs to be the title, I said. So maybe the title should come first. Mee peeked her eyes at me. Duh, she said. Josue covered up her again. Justin Herb raised his hand. Hey, I know, he said. Since Mr. Scary wrote a pickle poem, why don't we write about an olive? He leaned back in his chair and did a happy thumbs up. No one did a thumbs up back. 'Cause what kind of dumb idea was that? An olive, I said. I hate olives, said Josue. I threw up an olive once, said Lenny. Herb looked irritated at us. I patted at him. Don't be mad, I said. It's just that maybe there's something funnier to write about than an olive. That's all. See, said Josue. Like maybe we could write about soccer. Playing soccer is fun, right? Yes, I said. Plus, riding the bus to school is fun too, right, Herb? Me and you always have fun on the bus, don't we? Lenny shook his head. But I don't ride the bus, Judy B, he said. I think we should write something that all of us know about. He thought for a second, then he clapped his hands together. I know. We could write about how all of us shampoo our hair to keep it healthy and shiny. All of us do that, right? After that, me and Josue and Herb just looked at him. 'Cause sometimes Lenny is off the deep end, that's why. Finally, Josue put his hand on his desk. Maybe we're making this too hard, he said. Why can't we just write about something easy? Like about how we're all friends or something. Herb smiled a bit. Yeah, that's a good idea. We could write about the 4 of us We should call it friends. See, smile too. See, he said. Or amigos, maybe. Then I bounced up and down real excited. Because the perfect title just came to me. That's why. It hit me right out of the blue, clear sky. Pallies, I said. Let's call it Pallies. Because that's what we are. All of us are best pallies. And Pallies sounds like a cute title. Don't you think? I looked at him really hopeful. Then all my pallies started to smile. Our poem was off to a great start. All right, stay tuned in for tomorrow. Come back for chapter 8, or chapter 7. And all right, thank you for watching and see you tomorrow.